All right, now this is going to be the epilogue to our video about the 100 Boule Simps that begged Joe Biden to have a black woman save them. All right, and it states D.L. Hughley and Anthony, and this article states D.L. Hughley and Anthony Anderson joined Omega Sci-Fi. Would you know that this article actually came out this year? Listen, what I tell you guys is real talk, man. Omega Psi Phi, these fraternities are low-level Masonic orders. They know that if you when you become Omega in college, that is a funnel into the higher level, which is above the Omega Psi Phi and all the other Divine Nine, and which is part of the Boule. Okay, so and you will actually see if you look up right now in any major city, you actually see that the Boule have buildings inside each and every major city. I know there's one in mine, and they have meetings all the time. So you think that there's this thing going on, and everything the news tells you is real, and there's nothing further than that. No, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. But let's break this down real quick, and let's see. I'm going to break down exactly how this parlays into the support of Kamala Harris and into Kamala Harris because she's an AK, how that parlays into who they actually want black men to worship, which is the mother goddess Aphrodite. Okay, but let's start with D.L. Hughley. Okay, it says comedian D.L. Hughley and actor Anthony Anderson were inducted as honorary members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. They were joined by George Clinton and Ted Ginn Sr. What was their line name? The Pandemic Four. The Pandemic Four. Now they know. Oh man, listen. Like I said, the cause of this pandemic. That's gonna be a video for another day. I just want y'all to really look at this and think. Why would they call themselves the Pandemic Four? Why would they call it? And a lot of you brothers are saying, "Oh well, yeah, it's because the coronavirus and it's going on." Brothers, I'm trying to figure out. These dudes got money, they got fame, they got all this kinds of. Why are they joining a fraternity as old ass men in the middle of a goddamn pandemic? Why would they do that, brother? I mean, did they just wait this long, man, till they got to be 50 years old and said, "Hey, man, only one like to live. Coronavirus, man, might as well do it now, brothers." Why? And watch out for Anthony Anderson to say something to be part of a stunt or just to come out and say something in support of Kamala Harris as well. Let's continue on. D.L. Hughley shared the news on his IG page saying there are certain accolades that transcend money or fame. This is one of them. Congratulations to the bros. Now, as you can see, they've been inducted. They're holding that insignia. All right, they got their hands crossed. That is actually a Masonic structure. And as you can see, they're doing that arm pose. Now, you know what Omegas are known for. They're known for barking all the time. And we're going to break that down before we get into Kamala. They bark all the time because behind closed doors, the god that they worship is a god named Anubis. Greek god Anubis. I'm going to type it in. It's really very simple. Now, as we can see here to your right, there was an Egyptian god named Anubis with a canine or wolf head. Okay, this is what the Omega Psi-Phis worship behind closed doors. Okay, now let's read what it says. Anubis or Anpu in ancient Egypt is the Greek name of the god of death, mummification, embalming, the afterlife, cemeteries, tombs, and the underworld in ancient Egyptian religion, usually depicted as a canine or a man with a canine head. Archaeologists have identified Anubis' sacred animal as an Egyptian canid, or African golden wolf. The African wolf is formerly called the African golden jackal until the 2015 genetic analysis updated the taxonomy and the common name for the species. As a result, Anubis is often referred to as having a jackal head, but this jackal now properly called a wolf. Okay? All right. And now here we clearly see a Q who is putting up those arms, that they do, and on his back is the god Anubis. Okay, that's the god Anubis. They do worship that god. That's why they always barking all the time, and that they believe that he is the real god, and that's what they have you worship behind those closed doors. Here we have a UFC fighter. Not sure what his name is. Clearly, he's an Omega member. And you see how he's using his hands to kind of represent the dog ears and putting his tongue out of his mouth, someone like a dog. Yes, they do worship Anubis. Yes, they do. The Hall of Famer Shaq doing something similar. He has the basketball in one of his hands and the ear on the other side. On the other hand, he's doing the ear. He is a member of the that fraternity as well. He's putting out his tongue just like the other brother. Okay, is Shaq with standing with in front of the Beta Sigma Boule. I told you all that that is an organization that is on a higher level than the Divine Nine, and it's clear to me that he's standing here that he is Shaq is a part of that Boule. So again, do not be afraid. I know the NBA is coming back and they're pushing a lot of these talking points. Do not be surprised if Shaq says something in regards to Kamala Harris, so they have him say something. Okay. This Shaq with a Freemason ring on, just for all you brothers that might say, hey, he was just taking a picture with those guys. He's not really a part of it. No, 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 no. No, Shaq has it. They don't just give out these rings for nothing. Shaq has a Freemason ring. He is part of that organization. He's part of the Boule. So yeah, that's just for that. Now let's transition over into what the Boule is. To really break down all of the things that the Boule has really been a part of would be a whole nother video for another day. There's plenty of information out there. But what I just want to do is just to give you a understanding of where that term comes from, why they're called that, and what their job is today. Because it's the same thing going on back in history as going on today. There's nothing new under the sun. So let's read. Boule, ancient Greece. In cities of ancient Greece, the Boule was a council of over 500 citizens, Bouleta, appointed to run daily affairs of the city. Originally a council of nobles advising the king, Boule evolved according to the constitution of the city. In oligarchies, Boule positions might have been hereditary, while in democracies, members were typically chosen by lot, sortition, and served for 1 year. Little is known about the workings of many Boule, except in the case of Athens, for which extensive material has survived. So, brothers, what did we just learn here? They are an advisor and a counsel to the king. Now, who is the king? Well, we need to follow the money. Who is paying these men? Who is over top of the government? Who is over top of pushing communism, Marxism, homosexuality to our people? Because those are the messages that they have the Boule members pushing. Okay, who wants the black woman to be set as the head and the leader of our community? Who wants her to be that? Who wants us to worship the mother goddess? Follow that and you'll have your answer. But I just want you to know that yes, D.L. Hughley and many other black celebrities are part of the Boule, just like those 100 black men, and their job is to send out the message and to shame any black man that thinks that they're going to disagree about Joe Biden's vice president pick, to shame them and to have them basically be quiet and know they will be reprimanded if any other celebrity or if anyone else speaks out against it. Okay, so that's what that's about. Now on to Kamala Harris. We have the crest of the Alpha Kappa Alpha, which is the AKA sorority. Okay, and here what we're gonna do is, as you can see in the top right, you have the dove. Now we're gonna explain how the dove is a representation of Isis, or Aphrodite or Nefertiti. They're really all the same mother goddess. But that dove is a representation of, yes, it is the representation of the mother goddess, and that is who they worship. Okay, so let's prove that. Right, so here we have a little information about the about Isis, the goddess, or Aphrodite. Again, they're all the same thing. The goddess of fertility. Now we see why AKAs wear the green. It is a symbol for fertility. So let's go down to see what animals are or symbols are represented. Now, sacred animals. the cow, the scorpion, the snake, sacred birds, the dove, the hawk, the swallow, the vulture. Now we just saw that the symbol of the dove is for is on the crest of AKAs, and we also know that all of the divine nine worship certain goddesses. Okay, so let's go down a little bit and get an understanding of where DL Hughley wants us to be. So this is where they want you to be black man. They want you to bow down and get the wisdom from the mother goddess, okay? And this is in the form of, so you do that by sitting on the lap or bending down or being submissive to a Kamala Harris, and whatever she spits out, you listen to and you drink up. So, and you are in this position. That's where the Boule black men are trying to get every other black man to fall in line and be under, while the mother goddess teaches us. Okay? All right. We see that the founding of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority was in January 15th, 1908 at Howard University, Washington, D.C. Now, where do we know that Kamala Harris went to school? Howard University. I mean, you really cannot make this stuff up. You really can't. You cannot make this stuff up. Now, so she's a part of a fraternity, or sorry, sorority that was started at Howard in Washington, D.C., and she ends up moving up the ranks within the political sphere, which Washington D.C. is the capital of politics. She ends up moving into that, and then becoming higher up, and then potentially becoming the vice president of the United States. Okay, guys, you think it's all just fun and games? You think it just happenstance? All right, here we have Kamala Harris with her sisters. As you can see, they're wearing the green for fertility. All right. All right. So now that we have that understanding of what the Boule is, what the fraternity that DL Hughley is part of, as well as showing celebrities that are part of both the Omega Psi Phi fraternity as well as the Boule. And then we also have a understanding of what the AKA represents, or the sorority that Kamala Harris represents. Now it's going to give us a better context to what DL Hughley is saying. And recall the image that we have of the mother goddess Isis or Aphrodite. They're all the same, that have the child or the son that is taking the breast, which is representing of taking in the knowledge from the mother goddess and worshiping that goddess. Now that gives context to what D.L. Hughley is saying. Brothers, they do not want you to be a real man. They want you to give your authority, your leadership, put that down, and to follow behind black women. Okay? So that's what all this is about. So from the two-dimensional perspective, you just have a comedian who really doesn't like Trump, who is now pushing you towards voting for a quote-unquote black politician who really ain't black. But then from the three-dimensional perspective, what you have and what you will see a lot is going to be a lot of black men, black Boule members, celebrities, come out in defense of Kamala Harris and spit out the same talking points that you have D.L. Hughley spitting out. Because their job is to have the black community vote Democrat and vote for Kamala Harris. And as you can see, there's clearly something that we don't know, that these celebrities know, that behind the scenes, the plan is not to have Joe Biden in office for too long. Okay? The plan is to have Kamala Harris somehow, through by hook or by crook, somehow, once she's in the office, to take over that seat. Okay? So that's where you have it. And again, it's just so appalling to me, or so really just discouraging to me, that we don't see this coming from a mile away, when Kamala Harris was locking up brothers left and right when she was the prosecutor out there, and I believe California. So again, this is something that we all need to watch out for. I'm going to end it off again. This brother is going to make a reference to treating Kamala, or treating black women and listening to black women like you treat your mother. Okay? He's not doing that in regards to just, hey, your mom. He's regarding the mother goddess that he knows that behind closed doors they worship and they want you to worship, okay?
This is the truest example I've seen in a very long time of black girl magic. You better do what they say. Sound like your mama, don't it? Don't it? It
sounds like you are a fucking simp. And sounds like you want all of us to be simps too and not question anything. But like I said, I think I've covered all the bases in regards to that. Again, there may be a few more videos coming in regards to the Boule. Just be very aware of that, brothers. These people are not on our side, and it's upon us to stand tall in what we believe in and move forward and gain more wisdom and understanding, because the time is now to understand the predicament that we're in, and we're going to be forced to choose sides. These celebrities, they've already chosen their side. Which side are you on? All right, y'all. Peace.